Systemic inequality is a dog ownership issue. Let's review the definition of systemic inequality. So we're over here looking it up. Arises from policies based on discriminatory ideas that create inequality within the legal, educational, governmental systems. They show that certain factors such as gender, sexual orientation, and race heavily influence an individual's chance of thriving within society. What about the individual's species? What about that? We're so hyper focused on this part right here. This part right here. We're so hyper focused on gender, sexual orientation, and race, skin color, sexual preference, all that kind of stuff. Fighting amongst each other, creating all these subgroups that are supposed to rid our nation of all this inequality. But dog culture is a far bigger problem. It says here that the nature of inequality contributes to the disadvantage of certain groups. The certain groups would be your children or your fellow humans. So let's look at some of these factors and see if this is dog culture. So stereotypes. That's dog culture. What's the big stereotype with all the dog lovers? Dogs are better. My dog is better than your kid. Like our little summary says here, many people believe dogs are marketed as better than kids due to their lower financial burden, ease of care, blah, blah, blah. And that's just marketing gimmick. Ease of care, all that stuff. But dogs are marketed and portrayed and advertised as better than kids. So that's an unfair stereotype. Your human child can grow up and get a job, own a house, pay car insurance, tell your story, show everybody your photo album. Your dog can't do any of that stuff. So all this stuff about dogs being better, that's just a bunch of BS marketing gimmick. It's just a stereotype. They're stereotyping dogs as some kind of thing that is way better than your human offspring. So yeah, that's definitely a stereotype. And we can go on and on about the stereotypes that people use for their dogs, not just against humans, against other dogs. My dog is better than this. My dog is better than this. So what about unequal power relationships? Well, yeah, it's the same thing. If people think that dogs are better, then they're just going to give more to their dogs and less to their fellow humans. There are many, many examples of unequal power relationships out in society. Like parents will choose stuff that's for their dogs, not for their kids. People out there will quickly say that a person with a dog is a good person, but that person over there with kids, well, we don't know about them. The presence of dogs just creates an unequal power relationship because we choose so many things in our daily life based on what we think our dog wants instead of, what do our fellow humans need? How about discriminatory hiring practices? Yeah. As a human, your job is to take care of your fellow humans, but we give that job to dogs. Dogs basically take our jobs. They take our jobs, and yeah, they create jobs out in society, but those jobs, like the veterinarians and the dog groomers, they're having lots of problems. Even the people that work in vet clinics that have a high rate of suicide. So the hiring practices out there, you have to make a choice to work at a dog related job, almost no matter what field that you go into. If you're going to go work at a hospital, you're going to see dog attacks. If you go work for a veterinary clinic, you're going to have to deal with irate dog customers. If you're a police officer, you're going to have to deal with dog attack calls and dog barking calls. You can't decide to go work at a job that has nothing to do with dogs. Maybe you want to go work at a restaurant. Oh, they're going to make you be dog friendly and sue you if you don't bring dogs in. Yeah, we can go on and on with this, but there's so many examples from society. Unequal access to quality education. Oh boy. So while we can't afford to educate our kids, while schools cut sports programs, while teachers leave work. Look at what we spend on education for our dogs. It's 136 billion on their pets in 2025. The training market for dogs is expected to go up to 3.83 billion, or I'm sorry, no, 6.84 billion. So training is really the only type of education a dog can get. And we have more and more and more training, socialization. Train your dog to do this, train your dog to do that. Get this kind of dog that fetches the ball. Get this kind of dog that does this. We train the living heck out of these dogs more and more, but we don't put that type of effort into our kids. So yeah, that is unequal access to quality education. What about limited economic opportunities? So many examples there. But like I said, with the hiring practices too, many economic opportunities out there are going to be dog related. And so that limits your economic opportunities. And just looking out in society, like all the people that choose dogs over kids because of the supposed, all these supposed benefits right here. That doesn't create economic opportunity for people. That makes them not get to be part of society because people are choosing dogs more. And the whole point about the limited economic opportunities that falls into line with the education and healthcare and nutrition care because it's hard to get out there and chase those opportunities when your parents and society is more interested in taking care of a dog too. So these all kind of tie together anyways. And what about the biased criminal justice system? I have a great example from Oklahoma that I'll put in the description. But people will have missing kids, kids being abused or lost or missing, all that stuff. And a year or 6 months down the road, they'll figure it out. Meanwhile, they'll dispatch dozens and dozens and dozens of police because a dog fell off of a trail, a dog fell off of a cliff, somebody's dog went into a pool, somebody's dog trespassed on somebody's property, got injured, and they'll go rescue the dog while kids go missing or hurt or whatever. For example, a lot of people probably know what I'm talking about here, but people will quickly label actions as dog abuse based on their perceptions of animal care and welfare. So the perceptions that we have right now are that dogs just need to be spoiled 24/7. So somebody catches a little video of a dog out on a hot day or a cold day, or he had a chain, not a leash, or whatever. They'll throw that video up on Facebook, and the sheriff will come out there, and everybody on Facebook will be mad. They'll do a video on YouTube about it. Dog abuse, dog abuse, dog abuse. They're constantly doing this. They're constantly accessing the criminal justice system for the sake of dogs. Meanwhile, this is what's happening right here in our state. Child abuse is a big issue. 5,558, 899 children reported as victims of abuse and neglect. Oh, well, at least you guys ran out there and saved that dog that was in a hot car or a cold car or what the frick ever. Yeah, access to the criminal justice system and the whole system that's designed to help us excel and be protected, that is widely accessed by dogs and fake reports of abuse. People in the doggy daycare that are filmed tipping a dog over, they say they body slammed the dog, which is it's totally blown out of proportion. Meanwhile, several kids will be living, waiting for their next meal, wishing that they had a pair of shoes or something. Yeah. So yeah, the biased criminal justice system, absolutely. How about unequal distribution of healthcare resources? Guys, this stuff is so obvious. So, while our kids, some kids can't even afford a freaking nail file or just an exam or even food. This is what we're blowing on dog medical bills per household in 2024, which is contributing to the total of about 150.6 billion spent overall. And this doesn't include a lot of other things because, once you get the dog home, you give it extra meat, extra food. People do all this stuff after they get the dog home from the vet. All these extra special memory foam beds and keep the AC on or the heat on longer. Or they take the dog to like the coast or somewhere special and get all these pictures of it. It's his last week. He's diagnosed with cancer. So we're taking him all over the place. Oh, yeah. Meanwhile, kids aren't getting help. Kids aren't getting taken care of, or adults too, disabled veterans, all that stuff. So yeah, on unequal distribution of healthcare resources, absolutely. Restricted political representation. Well, yeah, if you're so busy worshiping dogs, how can you care about a person's political views? But this might sound like a hard one to explain, restricted political representation. But once you start getting initiated to how stupid dog culture is, it's going to be pretty obvious. So let me show you guys this. This is a common thing in our society. We have dogs that are the mayor of the city. Like look at this stuff. Look at this ridiculous crap. I got to show you this one from New York. Okay, so this dog right here, this is the supposed New York mayor dog, honorary mayor. New York City has had several nasty, gnarly pit bull attacks on people, bicyclists, yet, the mayor of New York City, this is part of the way that he gets representation. Oh, he's a good guy. Like, here's a little picture from New York City. New York City had this whole dog mayor election. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 dogs that they ran political freaking campaigns for. And they do this all over our country. They're not putting like kids up there like, hey, let's give this kid an honorary mayor position. He helped his dad fix a car, or he helped his mom bring in the groceries, or this little daughter helped the little brother fix a bicycle. They're not representing us as humans. They're using dogs as this quick little way to do this. It's ridiculous. All over our country. This dog is the mayor. Vote this wiener dog for president of eating chocolate. Uh-oh, mommy's mad. All this goofy stuff all over the place. Like, look at this Boston Terrier right here. He's the mayor of a town that banned fireworks. He's got a custom tailored dog suit, custom glasses for dogs, right? All for this political standpoint of dogs. What about humans? So yeah, this is just a quick obvious example. We could really deep dive this. But yeah, restricted political representation. People worship dogs, so they just push humans out of the way. And then they use dogs basically as their voter base. Look at me, I love dogs, vote for me. Yeah, so that's been a look at all of these things from systemic inequality, and we can do like a 10-hour video on each one of these, comparing it to dog culture. Yeah, see you guys in the next one.